Hi, so thank you for being here today.
Of course.
It's good to see you again. I just wanted to, before we get started, review a little bit about the informed consent. So as you know, I'm here to help you, but we're basically forming a partnership. You're the expert on you, and I'm the expert on how to help you. So we're going to work together and make sure that we're both on the same page, and always just feel free to challenge anything that you don't feel is going right, or let me know if something's not working for you.
Okay.
Also, I want to talk about confidentiality again. So you know that everything that you say here is confidential, except for in certain situations. So is there a feeling that you might hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, then they'll have to break confidentiality. If I get a court order for our meetings, I might have to break confidentiality, and I'll let you know. Or that would be something that if you wanted me to break confidentiality, you could sign something for me and I would release your information. Or if there's any danger to an elderly or child person, then I would have to release information.
Okay.
So does that sound good? Do you understand that? Does that feel okay with you?
Yeah.
You ready to go forward?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about how this week went. Last week we were talking about your wife's issues with drinking and how it was affecting you. And we were talking a little bit about your work and having some extra stress with that. And we talked about a couple homework items that you were going to work on. So let's talk about first, were you able to get to the AA meeting with your wife?
No, not this week.
Okay.
I'm still working on my work. I did get a little bit of help, but it's still not quite there.
Not quite
no,
there.
Not go to the meeting.
You didn't go to a meeting.
No.
Okay. So what was the reason that you feel that maybe you weren't able to make it, or what happened?
Not sure. It was timing wise, didn't work out so well. Also, I'm not an alcoholic, so I didn't know if I was placed well there.
Okay.
It was a little odd for me, I think.
Okay, so you kind of felt that it would be uncomfortable for you to be there because did you feel that you would be labeled an alcoholic if you were there?
Yeah, I think so.
So you were worried about the opinions of the people in the meeting? Okay. So what do you think would make you more comfortable in that kind of situation? Would you think that, I mean, you know that these meetings are open,
Okay.
so there's a lot of people that come in as guests. But we did also talk about going to an Al-Anon meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to ask you though, before we get into that, you said that you were worried about being labeled as an alcoholic.
Yes.
So how does that feel with your wife being an alcoholic? Do you feel like anything negative towards that label?
No, I guess she's there to get help.
Right.
I just didn't feel, well, I didn't want to be labeled as an alcoholic.
Okay. Well, last week you mentioned that you wanted to support your wife, and she was having some difficulty going to the meetings on her own.
Right.
So is that kind of, feels like you might be too uncomfortable to support her in this situation?
No, shouldn't be. Right.
Well, I mean, you have the right to feel however you feel, but I just noticed that you said you really wanted to support her, and I feel that maybe that kind of doesn't go along with the actions you're taking. What do you think?
Right. That's true.
Do you think that she would be able? Did she go to a meeting alone?
Yes, she did.
She did. She did go alone.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe, like we were saying about the Al-Anon meetings, maybe you would be more comfortable going to a meeting where you were just dealing with the other people that are dealing with addicts.
Okay.
Like the parents, the spouses, the friends, the family. And then would you feel more comfortable with something like that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so is that something maybe that if your wife continues to go to the AA meetings on her own, do you think that you would be interested in going to an Al-Anon meeting so you can kind of figure out how to deal with what's going on in the household? Okay, so if you wanted to label out a goal, would you say that we might be able to get to an Al-Anon meeting in the next week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, okay. So next on that list, let's talk about your work. You said that you got a little bit of help. Did you ask for help?
I did, but it wasn't going as quickly as I would have hoped, and
Okay,
probably should have voiced more that I need some more help in addition to what I already got.
okay, so you feel that your employer took what you said and worked on it, but not to the level that you were expecting?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a way that you could talk to them again, or, you know, what's the plan for that?
Yeah, I was pretty busy this week, but yeah, I could probably get together with my boss again.
Okay. So I know that you said that, one of your goals was to be home more.
Right.
It's important to you that you are available for your wife and you could spend time at home and kind of, you know, lessen the load at work. Have you been coming home on time?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So tell me about what keeps you from coming home on time.
Still a lot of responsibilities and kind of phasing out into having another person help me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would like to get out on time, so I should make that more goal this coming week.
Okay. So what's the reason that you want to be on home on time? What's the benefit of being there? Like, what are you looking to gain?
Would help my wife out more. So
Okay.
spend some more time together.
Okay.
I wouldn't be as tired probably.
Okay.
And yeah, probably like we talked about, go for walks.
Okay.
Spend more time together.
So wanting to help her with her processes that are going to get her away a little bit from using. As we talked about, those goals for her being a little bit of you know, replacing, you know, drinking with activities and stuff like that. And you feel that you would be beneficial to be there with her to do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So as a goal for this week, would you say maybe you could try going home 3 days out of the week on time, or 2 days, you know, whatever kind of feels comfortable for you, just to start it out?
I'll shoot for 3.
You shoot for 3, okay. So far we've talked about in the next week, you're gonna work on going to some Al-Anon meeting. And then making sure that you get home on time to spend time with your wife and make sure that you guys are, you know, spending quality time together and kind of help her out a little bit.
Right.
So you feel comfortable with that plan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe do some cooking.
Some cooking?
Nice, yeah.
Okay, that would be nice too. Do you guys enjoy cooking together?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, is that something?
Messy, but...
You're a little messy? Okay. Yeah. So tell me how you felt this week with your wife's using. Tell me, like, how has she been and kind of how it's affected you?
It is getting better. She doesn't drink as much as she did before.
Okay.
I basically did not give her money anymore, but then I had to give her money for some shopping, and then that ended up not going to shopping.
Okay. So how do you feel about her doing that?
Well, we set up a little rule. It's like I won't give her money up front anymore.
Okay.
It seems like as soon as I give her the money, it's off to the races.
Okay, so that's a big trigger for her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Okay.
So what we agreed on is she can do her shopping and then she'll just call me while she's at the store.
At the checkout?
Yes.
Okay. So did you already implement that?
Yes.
Okay.
We've done it twice.
Okay, and that worked?
Yes.
And she was comfortable with that?
Yeah, she was comfortable, and then I actually got to talk to her in the work that was doing.
Okay, well, that's nice too. So that's kind of another thing too, talking during the day. Does that help to break up the day for you or for her?
It's nice to do a break. Tell my people, it's like, what's my wife calling?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
So another goal could be to make sure that you continue making those phone calls during the day.
Yep.
To relieve, not just relieving her stress, but also relieving your stress with a little break from the busy office.
Yes, help me and seem to help her too.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, definitely, I would say if you want to keep that up
Mhm.
and ensure that, you guys stay in communication, because if she's going during the day and doing things separately by herself, she might get into a situation where she might want to use, and it's nice to have somebody to talk to.
Right.
Has she talked to you about getting a sponsor?
No, she has not.
Okay. So how would you feel if she had a sponsor and that maybe that person could take some weight off your shoulders? Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm sure what a sponsor's responsibilities are.
Well, so usually during an AA, they help they help keep the person accountable. There's somebody that has been through the program and done all the steps.
Okay.
And is clean and has clean time, and they kind of take the new person under their wing and help them go through the steps themselves.
Okay.
So she'll be going through, and you'll learn about it in Al-Anon too. They'll teach you a little bit about what the program is like, so you kind of know what you need to expect for her going through, and you can feel like a support for that, just knowing what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that would be a really good idea. Okay, so tell me about just anything else that you want to talk about, like anything that you feel that came up this week that maybe you thought, I should bring this up.
See, that was a little bothering me a little when I gave her money up front, and then she ended up going to the store and buying alcohol.
Okay, so did you discuss that with her?
Yes, there was no fighting, and she felt bad,
Okay.
and then we had a little talk, but yeah, it was at the time it bothered me quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So it's important for you to let her know how it makes you feel,
Mhm.
so that she can understand the effects of her drug use on you.
Right.
Because she might just, if you are not fighting and you just kind of let it go and move on, did you tell her that you felt bad, or did you just kind of,
No, we talked about it, but
you talked about it?
yes,
Did you let her know that you were upset?
no.
Okay. So I feel sometimes that maybe you are a little bit enabling with her sometimes, giving her money sometimes, and then kind of withholding your feelings about it and just kind of letting it happen.
Okay.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay, so how can you work on that personally?
I'll have to be voicing my feelings more, I suppose.
Okay, do you feel comfortable talking to her about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How do you think she'll take it?
Well, she'll probably feel bad about it, but
Right.
I don't think she'll feel bad.
Do you feel that you were able to hold her accountable? Because I know that's something that you want for her to have accountability.
Mhm.
Do you feel that you're capable of doing that?
I think so. It might take a little bit getting used to.
Okay. So why do you think that is?
Now, because it's usually not something that I usually do. At work, I can do it all the time,
Okay.
but my wife is a different story.
Okay. Is that something that you feel that if you were more stern or strict with her on these sort of things, that would damage your relationship?
No, I don't think so.
No. So what do you think the reason is that you kind of hold back from doing that with her?
I don't know. Think about it, I suppose. Well, I do it at work, no problem. But for some reason, usually it's family. I'm a little more held back.
Okay. Okay. Is that something that you've always had, like in your previous relationships with your parents growing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's always been really, it's usually talking. There's no outbursts and anything. It's just let it go and talk about it after.
Okay. So it sounds like you're a very, peaceful kind of negotiator with things. You don't like to have confrontation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you think that having a little bit of a discussion with her about your feelings would be beneficial to her too?
Yes.
Do you think that she's interested in knowing how you feel?
Yes.
Okay. So that might be something that you can also work on this week.
Okay.
Maybe have a goal to take a sit down with her and just kind of go over, how the past few weeks have gone and discuss, how her actions make you feel when she does, something behind your back or kind of, goes and does something, with drinking or just anything that you kind of want to bring up with her.
Okay.
And I think that would be beneficial for both of you. And then just remember, you have to also listen to what she has to say. So how do you think you'll handle if she says, that she's sorry, will you forgive her? Or, is that something that you think is okay to, to plan for?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we have a bunch of goals that we're going to work on. Let's see. So we're going to go to the Al-Anon meeting.
Yes.
We are going to get home from work on time 3 times in the week. And we're going to make sure that we have time for quality time with the family after work. Help her with her walking and that kind of stuff. And then we're also going to make sure that we sit down and have a real conversation about your feelings.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's important that she knows and it's important that you communicate.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think that will help a lot to make sure that you guys are on the same page and everybody knows what's going on. Do you feel that she will continue with her AA program?
I think so with my elders.
Okay. Did you discuss a possibility of going to an Al-Anon or going with her? Did she express any interest in you going with her?
We've talked about it, and then, like I said, I have son probably labeled an alcoholic, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you think that bothers you, even though you know that you're not an alcoholic?
I don't know. Maybe it's a self-image, I'm guessing.
Okay. So you're kind of worried about how others will view you. You said that you would be worried that the others in the meeting might judge you.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Have you discussed this feeling with your wife?
No.
Okay. Do you think that would be beneficial to let her know, that you feel uncomfortable? Do you think that might be detrimental to her going?
No, I don't think so. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Just let her know that, you just feel uncomfortable. She might have some resources for you to tell you how the meetings go and let you know if there's others there that are not alcoholics that are coming as family.
Okay.
And maybe, you guys can discuss how you might get more comfortable with that if that's something that you think might be beneficial to her.
Okay.
Yeah. So just communication, I think. I think that's going to help you guys a lot.
Okay.
So we're coming to the end of our session. So is there anything that you want to discuss further, or do you have any questions or any goals that you think that we haven't discussed that you wanted to work on?
I think I have some homework to do.
You have some homework. Yeah. Yeah. So you feel comfortable with how we set the goals? You think they're attainable? Okay. And then we'll check in next week.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that, everything works. If it didn't work, we'll readjust it.
Okay.
And we'll come up with a new plan. Yeah, so don't worry if not everything goes perfectly. These are your goals, but sometimes there's setbacks.
Okay.
So just know that you're working towards it and feel comfortable telling me if you couldn't do it. You don't have to feel ashamed or embarrassed that you couldn't take care of it. Okay? Well, all right, so then I guess we'll just plan to see each other next week.
That sounds good.
All right, thank you. How many minutes was that?